Deutschen Pfest committee meeting for Monday, April 24th, 2023 at 6:50 p.m. To order. Citizens communication, the committee welcomes comment on items related to Deutschen Pfest. Public comment that is made on an item that is not the published agenda will only be heard by the committee. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made. Each person providing public comment will be limited to 3 minutes and will be asked to state his or her name and address for the public record. Do we have anyone? No?
We do not.
All right. Approval of the minutes. Discuss and consider action to approve the minutes from the Deutschen Pfest Steering Committee, March 22nd, 2023. Did everyone have a chance to go over the minutes? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
All right. Do I have a second? Second. All right. So all in favor say aye. Aye. All right. So the motion carries, and 4A is discussion regarding Deutschen Pfest fair rides.
Awesome. So I want to say Miriam brought this up, and she is, I think a few of these items we're discussing committee members brought them up. But discussing fair rides, I've been working with a vendor who we worked with last year and really loved, and they had staffing. So what they provided us a quote on so far is a vertical rush, the shooting stars, a Euro bungee, which is like a 4-on-1, trackless train, a walk wall, a super slide, tubes of fun, a windjammer, a wizard, and a Ferris wheel.
So I think previously, well, I know previously there was a fair festival rides concept at the event while the event was happening. There's also extra, and so when we as a city were reassigned to this, and city council appointed the citizens committee, one of the discussion points was, how do we make it where it's one cost, or it's not money for the one thing that I think was outside the gates. There was a kid thing outside the gates, and then there's a cost to get in the gates, and a cost for the festival rides, and a cost for everything.
Bait and switch.
Yeah. How do you? Oh, Deutsche Fest only $7, but then it's it's $10 getting in, $7 there, and $40 for festival rides. How do we do all that? For $7 or $8 or an entry fee. And so the idea was, instead of using a carnival type company with vendors that stay on site for a couple days and they're running it like they would a fair, what if we use high-end festival apparatuses, amenities, whatever, yeah. But we source it ourselves, and I think we pay for them to have staff at each location.
Yeah, they staff
So we
it
still
as well. They
staff
have
it, right?
generators, so it's not eating into like our electricity that we're using for vendors.
But
they come highly recommended.
Somehow that transition, the message got out, and I think partly the message got out because 1 year during COVID, we canceled kid activities. So we changed the format of COVID. We changed the format of Deutsche Fest from spring to fall, from 3 days to 2, and then they saw that the kids' events got canceled. The kids' events got canceled due to just the COVID. But I think there was a narrative that got out there. It was like, oh, they don't have festival rides anymore. But I think anybody that went to the event last year saw that we definitely have a lot of events for teens, and those things were going the whole time. Had pretty good lines, and we've added more. We've asked for more in the budget from council to have more rides, and they've added more. And so because I think Miriam said something like, oh, why don't we do the rides like we used to? I think we're offering a similar experience. Maybe it's not the exact same, but I think we're offering a similar experience for a much cheaper rate for a family. A family doesn't feel like they have to pay every time a kid gets on something, or they have to buy a pass at $30 or $40 to be able to ride something continuously. Parents just have to pay for an entry fee, and then all those things are just wait in line and ride it as many times as you can. So
a separate entry fee or separate wristband that includes festival rides, is that what it is?
no, that's
No,
all
it's-
part of it.
Got it. Everybody pays the same rate.
You pay $7 or $8 or $10, whatever the fee will be this year.
Okay.
And that gets you in, that gets you access to the vendors, that gets you access to the food and the entertainment. It also gets you access to
Great.
the fair rides.
Great.
Last year we had face painters, balloon artists, a game truck, So definitely still, I think this year we just wanted to add a little bit more rides. That was some of the feedback we got. Some of the bigger carnival rides, so like the Ferris wheel and those type of things, where now you're going to see them. So now you're going to know we have them. And then on kids area will be Raul and Amy too. So we'll work together on adding in some of those additional and then moving forward with some of these options.
I've never seen, and I maybe just didn't see it, posters, flyers, that type of thing. I always remember seeing, the logo and that type of thing. But could we make flyers that include rides in there somehow?
Oh, rides included this year or
Yeah,
something.
rides
Yeah,
included.
Yeah.
Really market it heavily.
I think that would help too with that.
Yep.
Definitely.
Get one of those stills of the YouTube videos of guys coming on those roller coasters screaming and falling asleep on the roller coaster.
There you go.
So the rides are including like older kids? So-
Yes.
Yeah, rock climbing and or
The
mountain
bungee jumping, the rock wall,
the Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. I'm trying to think of what else.
So
is
the
on here.
teenagers.
There's like a
Yeah.
whizzer, which
Yeah.
is like this, and I can bring pictures next time, and I can add this to this. The super slide, which are like those. I still love to do those.
Oh, I see.
Like you're in the bag and you go down. A Euro bungee and a vertical rush, which is like these huge other slides. Kind of, it's got like a obstacle course and then it's got slides.
You know what we could even do is we could set aside a little funding. Is it Youth Advisory Council?
Mhm.
The Youth Advisory Council is a group of juniors and seniors that do a year under city council, under the city manager's office. And they have meetings just like this that's set up, and they meet with different department heads. So one department head a month, so you'll see them at Parks and Rec Commission once a month, and they go to the library and, all the other different aspects of the city. But it's a way for them to get to understand at a youth level what government is and, who works in it and why you work in it. But they are youth in this community. They represent different schools. We could even, we
That'd
could
be
set,
right up their alley.
we could
That
set
would be
aside a little
great.
funding, and they could even book two apparatuses. So
Oh,
like
that's a good idea.
brought to you by the Youth Advisory Council, that wheel of death over there that makes you throw up.
Maybe not that one.
Now I think they're in the process of reloading. They don't do a full year because school's out and things like that. So we'd have to figure out what that looked like. Maybe we'd reach out to the one that's finishing up, even though that might not be the group that would be represented in the fall. But I think we could, or we could source it a different way.
I think that's a great idea because they would push
Get
it
a
out
group of kids in the
onto-
basketball court to
Yeah.
pick a apparatus or something. Here are our 3 finalists. Make a selection. I'm sure we can figure out a way to program that in such a way that
Push it all out to their youthful
not only
social
did we
media.
make sure there were some teens rides, but this one was literally selected by teens in the community.
Yeah,
Then you can't cry about it.
Or it's a little
When you
tougher.
could.
Yeah.
make a TikTok video. So.
There you go. Is there any questions? Cool.
So 4B, discussion regarding event vendors.
Awesome. So here is some vendor background. Here's what our vendor map looks like. I know we kind of internally talked about it last month. The yellow is your 10 by 10 booths. Your blue is your 10 by 20, and those were those are 12. We give them some extra space. 12 by 24s, those were your food vendors last year. This map changes with how many food vendors and those type of things. But that was like a good idea for y'all to kind of see what we are working with. Overall, I'm hoping to open vendor applications June 5th. We're already starting to get emails about people interested, which is really exciting. Our website is officially updated to say the dates, and that check back soon vendor application, date will be out soon. Here are our vendor fees that we went with last year. We could put this as a discussion or discuss and consider next time if y'all want to discuss this, but this is just what we wanted to present what we've been working with. So regular vendor would be $250, food vendor would be $350, beer vendor $400, additional wristbands were $8, temporary food permit, that is the one that changed because we permit all of our events through Austin Public Health. They are like us and their fees change in October. So last October we paid it used to be 114 per booth, now they are 240 per booth. So that was quite a jump. And then electricity, 120 volts was $50. Vendor numbers, we have 66 vendor booths total, 5 food trucks, and then an additional 7, and those are what we used right here for our internals and our sponsors. So we have a great number of booths. We also last year kind of switched where we did nonprofits, where on our Sunday for our fun run and community fair, so we offered them the ability to come out totally for free on Sunday, which was, I mean, we had a pretty great turnout. I think we had over 30 vendors on Sunday, and that's definitely, I think, a part of the event we're gonna wanna continue to grow and partner with. Last year was our first switch of the fun run becoming not timed, and it becoming more of a community costume. It was super fun. We did the obstacle course. So I think that'll be kind of a place for Roll and Amy to start giving input and us growing.
Yep.
Any question on vendors so far?
You do not have any food.
Yeah, so we
Vendors
ended up
at-
extending our food all the way down, which I honestly think is the
Well,
best way.
hang on. Up on the east side,
Give me a heart attack.
towards the pavilion. The other
Oh,
music
yeah,
stage.
mapped out.
During the free-
Are there any food
Yeah.
vendors in that direction at all?
So is that something we want to discuss? Is putting some food vendors over there? It's
Is
just on
that-
the other side of the gate of our admission.
Is there still going to be music this year again at the pavilion? Because that might be something to consider.
Well, you've gotta-
Just because there's going to be entertainment on that side, might want to have some food vendors.
I think you could do food vendors over there, but you'd have to do it at a discounted rate.
Yeah, because it's outside of the gate.
Yeah.
Whether they hit an incredible number or not,
Mhm.
they will find a way to be frustrated that for 2 days,
Yeah.
every other food vendor was near the entertainment.
Right.
The main entertainment, the
every
main,
vendor,
yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Sure.
So I think you could even talk about that tail getting some sort of discount if you wanted to do, because sometimes those people over there, I think,
Yeah.
what was our first 2 years, the booth vendor?
Person.
The lady that ran it?
Linda?
Linda.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know you were
Patella,
getting
Linda
that.
Patella.
Linda Patel.
Yeah.
She managed it so well, but I think if anyone complained, it was those people over there, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
there's some sort of threshold that if they're after the second tail I don't know. But
Okay.
I think anything you put over there would feel, first of all, there's a huge slope. It doesn't show it in this
Right,
map,
the
but
grade.
the grade gets
Yeah.
pretty
Right.
severe pretty
Yes.
quick.
Right.
But I think you would. I think you could put food trucks over there if you wanted to. But those food trucks you'd have to charge them differently because they're
Okay.
going to be frustrated. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We're gonna talk about that lack of opportunity over that way
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And the beer vendors, are you limiting,
So no, this is just the older map. So we had Rotary here is that really big one. They use the pavilion, and then right here in our food section we had Friends of the Animal Shelter.
Now, alcohol vendors in general are limited.
so,
Council has considered this a great opportunity to enrich the lives of the public, but it's also a great opportunity for a couple of our service organizations to fundraise for their outreach for the year. So, we can't just let someone from the outside can't just come and do alcohol. Alcohol's usually either
A local nonprofit.
Rotary and
Yeah, a service
Used to be Rotary and
organization.
Lions, and then last year
Yep.
it switched to Rotary
Lions passed up
and,
after 30 or 40 years of doing
Rotary
it.
and the Friends of Paws,
They
and
went
so
to
we
Friends
got
of
those
Paws.
applications and we brought them to. I think we brought them to our event subcommittee, and then we brought them to y'all.
Growler can't just have a booth. They have to sell to Rotary or somehow figure out a way to work with them. That's
yeah, I'm the Blue Girl Circle of Giving, and we are discussing maybe doing something with the Ronald McDonald House
okay.
and selling beer.
Yeah.
If y'all were interested in that, we'd probably have to go through the event subcommittee at some point, which is two of the council members that this group reports to.
I just didn't know if there was like a limited amount of spaces for nonprofits
So we
to do something
literally
like
limit
that.
it for two, just because that's what we've done in the past is two
Yeah.
vendors.
We would just have to get support from those two council members to say, yeah, this is another worthy nonprofit, and we'll find them a booth, but we can find a spot out there for someone to sell
More
alcohol.
beer.
Yeah.
More
And I
beer,
was
for
like,
sure.
All the
beer
beer.
and talking about the entertainment being on the other side, maybe
Another beer, yeah.
more beer over there.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
for sure.
that was a struggle.
I don't know how we secure that overnight.
Yeah, I
If
don't
it
know
was
if we
beer
move out that
side.
our admissions gate. I don't know if we discussed that, moving that.
there are.
Yeah.
to the front
I
of
said
Gillen
that would
and
be
doing
an
temporary
easy
temporary fencing. It's
Hey, you
definitely
got
something.
you got
So when we get to the future agenda items, if that's something we want to discuss next time, I think that would be great.
Well, all the fencing's on the ground right now.
The angry
From
ones
the
that
storm.
can get adopted.
They're all
What happened?
They just cleaned up all those trees and now they're all back.
no, because we were talking about the gates and the fencing, and I was like, they're all on the ground right now.
Yeah, yes, they are. In the creek.
Yep, in the
Yeah.
creek.
They're probably in Manor by now.
Awesome. All right. Any questions vendor related? Cool.
All right, so 4C, discussion regarding ADA accessibility throughout the event.
Again, I think this was something Miriam brought up. I think she wanted to talk about ADA accessibility, and I'm going to go back to this map really quick and use it. For the stage, and I think she talked about maybe the 3 entrances and why we didn't use this entrance. I don't really know if you have anything you want to add on that one.
So we had a weird thing that happened last year.
Maybe there's some input.
Yeah, so, the parking area behind the pavilion, which is extremely limited, very small, and it was set up deliberately for the entertainment. And had somebody park there, and I watched them for a minute, and they just sat in their car for the longest time, and finally got out, and they said, well, but this is ADA parking, and I said, I'm sorry, it's not, and I pointed where it was. They told me that their toddler was disabled, and we watched them walk across the entire park, and I couldn't, I'm disabled too, so it's not always visible, but it wasn't very well marked, maybe.
Okay.
Well, and that
That's
doesn't have to do-
secondary location. So for y'all,
Yeah.
what she's referencing is, you can't see it. Gillen Creek, so prior to that, we used to use this as ADA parking. And then we met with our police, and they made the recommendation of moving it, since you have those shuttles, you have all these people walking into your park right here. It just didn't feel super safe to consistently
Yeah.
have cars in and out. So last year we moved it to Gillen Creek. And then we offered a golf cart shuttle back and forth. It was rather busy, that golf cart. Just
Yeah.
couldn't keep up with the usage. We've also talked about adding in an additional ADA shuttle. Last year we did one, and it went from Brick Hollow, which was the closest parking spot, to the event. But as we all know, Flugger Park, the parking is very questionable and very limited. So kind of looking at maybe some other options, or additional parking or additional shuttles. Is definitely something we can kind of discuss as we start ironing out the logistics. We're just kind of limited in spacing and parking, in all honesty. So I think the shuttles would be a great addition, if, and maybe that's additional marketing as well. Hey, we do have these great shuttles, and they are ADA friendly, because I think that parking got overran so quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And that's a really hot button when you walk up to somebody and say, now, are you really disabled? Because I've had that question asked of me. Technically, yes.
And so we used to, or the event used to, if you look at the gate coming into Flugger Park, the entrance fees and all that used to be set up there.
Yeah.
And then the line carried into the intersection where cars were driving and
Right.
shuttles. And so we moved that further down, which makes in and out almost impossible, which, like Caitlin was saying, makes parking handicap there impossible.
Yeah. And then safety concern for sure.
But Flugel Park is a really great park, has a lot of great canopies and a lot of great infrastructure that over the years, the committee that used to run this event and reinvested in, and the city has reinvested in as well. But man, it doesn't have a lot of parking, not nearby, and none of it that can really be used that weekend for ADA. Gillen Creek, normally when there's not construction going on, is a pretty large parking lot, but
Someday we may have a quite larger spot to put Deutschen Pfest.
yeah.
You could talk to the Lions Club, they're right there. I
Yeah.
know they were
I
selling
think
spots
last year they had their own
year,
event, but yeah, that's a great. I'm gonna write
but
that
I mean,
down.
they might be willing to
Yeah,
help y'all out.
we could just, and we could just, whatever they were charging, we could just
That's
pay that
nice.
much, yeah.
Mhm.
Cement, where you could get in and out easy.
Yep.
And maybe we do additional golf cart shuttles.
Or maybe that's the ADA shuttle,
Mhm.
just from there,
Oh yeah, that's not even. That's a good idea.
with our
All the
senior
way
bus
up
or
to the
whatever,
gate.
yep.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea. Okay, cool. All right, those are some options. Well, I will reach out to them and I will let y'all know what we hear back.
When Miriam brought that up, was she saying there was a lack of, or what was her question?
I think she was concerned. I think she was concerned with the distance that maybe they had to travel.
It was with the stage. She said, yeah,
Oh.
it made it more difficult, like entertainment wise, for that group of people to
Make it all the
enjoy
way.
it all the way across. So, also entertainment as well as spreading it down further, which we did have there, but you know.
Yeah, we had entertainment at the front gate too. I mean, maybe a designated sitting area in front of the stage.
That's
What a bulk
that's on my
trail.
notes too, is that we
Not
definitely,
accessible for them.
No, you have to do like.
And DG trail would be dang near impossible.
yeah, that was something I was gonna bring up, but I wasn't sure since it's not on the agenda about seating and entertainment.
Trying to think of a concrete spot over there that we could just, almost like at events, you can park there and that's, but I just don't know if there is one over there. Well, when she comes back, next meeting, she can fill us in on
What her thoughts
more.
were.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions about accessibility?
Alright, so for D, discussion regarding additional road closures for the fun run.
Awesome. This was a roll thing.
Was Raul?
It was roll, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So what he'd like to see is us close down railroads. So last year for those, we changed the route last year a little bit. It started at Finnick Park, and then from Finnick we had a lane closed all the way. And then once they hit Bercalo, they hopped on the sidewalk and ran. Oh, sorry. They ran this whole way down on the sidewalk. So what he'd like to see is that lane continue, I think, all the way to the park. And I think that is it's doable. We work with our PD and our streets. I think he just wanted us to chat about the options of it.
Do y'all have any concerns, without talking to PD, about a road closure for, I don't know, what, an hour and a half probably max? Walkers and all?
We started at 10 last year, which I think was nice. 10, I want to say everybody was back at the park by 11:30. And the thought is to move that obstacle course actually to the end of the event in that field, so it all kind of feels like it's all together. So then people felt like last year they had to stop and it was weird and they didn't want to, they were nervous if they stopped and they wouldn't get to the finish line in time. So we've decided we're going to go ahead and shift that back to Finnig, and then that way it's a kids area, it's an obstacle course, a little bit of everything is there. So yeah, it would just be one lane all the way to Gillen Creek side, and then they hop on the trail all the way back. Any concerns?
what are haunted obstacles? I'm having a hard time reading it.
So last year we did the haunted obstacle course there, which was
So about halfway through, they could jump on and jump over things and climb under things.
we
and-
made
Just kind of
spiders, we made all
thematic.
sorts of
Yeah.
bones
Oh, that's
were in
cute.
hula hoops.
Yeah.
Super cute. So, but I think we want to move it to the end, so that way they can feel like they can enjoy it and they can go back to it after they finish the race.
You had kids
that's a
playing in
good
it, and the
idea.
parents were like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah,
We gotta go
yeah,
get to the
They
end."
were on, yeah,
Yep.
they were running. So, and I think that's what we see. We see a good mix of people who still want to come out and make great time, and then we see another mix of people who are in their costumes. And I think we had 40 people stay for the costume contest, which is really awesome. So that's why I say there's so much potential with Sunday. Last year was our first time kind of making it this family fest. So last year we called it Family Fright. And I think we can kind of continue building on that. And Hans looks adorable in his witch hat, so that's all that you need.
Yeah.
Cool. Any concerns with that or anything about the fun run, or we can definitely talk
No, that
more on
sounds
that.
good, with moving the obstacles.
Cool.
Originally, I was thinking going through the trail so they could access the trail more, but the trail doesn't go up all the way to Fenning anyways, so I don't think distance-wise it would work.
We have golf carted that trail so many times. I say golf cart because I don't run this, but we've looked at so many options trying to take it through this neighborhood. Half of this neighborhood doesn't have sidewalks,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a funny thing to learn.
Well, on the other side of the street, though, the trail runs on
This
the,
one.
actually over here on the right side of Railroad.
Yeah. There's a big.
And then it goes
trail.
under Brook Hollow.
Yes.
And you can kind of connect through there, but I don't know if it would be,
Yeah,
I don't think distance-wise it would cover, so.
yeah.
The good thing is because it's not timed, it's not a race event.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a full 5K. In fact,
Yeah,
it
it doesn't have
rarely
to be a
is.
3.1.
Yeah, like,
I
Yeah.
think this was like a 2.99 last
Because
year.
if you go up Railroad and then cross
Yeah,
under
see 'em.
where Brook Hollow is, and then you keep going, you'll end up at Fenning if you cross over.
Yeah.
It's just a shorter loop.
Yeah.
So you see that trail right where the Vian Avenue is? To the left of the Vian
keep
Avenue?
going up.
A little bit
This
up,
one?
right
Right
there.
there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that actually cuts
Oh,
under
yes.
Railroad.
Yes,
so you
yes.
can go through the trail down to the right of Railroad, and then
Yeah.
they did a new trail there as well, and then it cuts across, and then you'll end up at Fenning anyways.
Gotcha.
So if we don't want to shut down the whole street, that's an
That's an
option.
option.
And we use the trails that are there versus
Yeah.
trying to shut down the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could look at that and I can bring that back to y'all next time.
Cool.
Good idea.
I'm always on those trails. So.
Awesome. Anything else on that?
No, that looks good. Alright, let's see. 4E, discussion regarding Blue Ribbon County Fair competition.
Amy, this is your
your
lady.
husband, did you bring your husband in?
No,
Where's Grant?
Bring a
Yeah.
spiel for this.
he's putting the kids to sleep. So. Yeah, so basically, in my head, kind of thinking about it, is potentially we could maybe put this in with like the community stuff, like on the fun run, since that is more, we're doing like a community fair, so then in my head I was thinking maybe it makes sense with that, but it's basically it's like a pie contest, like who makes the best pie in Pflugerville, or who makes the best whatever cupcakes or whatever food you wanna do, or another like option to add to or whatever would be like having art competition kind of.
We talked about
We
this
talked
because I
about
saw
this.
Pat Blue
Yeah.
Ribbon does one and they did one for their can.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what if we did a Stein Art contest and like you got to be the Stein Art Cup of the Year or something?
Yeah, because like when both my husband and I did this, we both so like the county, for me it was the Fort Bend County Fair. They made all the kids in public school that they had, the art teachers had them draw something for the county fair. I never got anything off of it.
I thought
He
we
did.
did that
That was
years
like
ago.
what we used to do
because
with Dairy Queen.
I was gonna say Dairy Queen always had
We
kids
did.
art all over it from
Yeah.
Deutschen Pfest.
And so you could give like prizes out by grade, or like ribbons out by grade, or by what, like however you want to do it, because it's like cheap for us. It's just a ribbon, and then it gets people like, oh,
Engaged.
yeah,
I
Okay.
personally want to know who has the best pie in Pflugerville.
I,
so.
I was leaning more towards
So
that
you
too.
would like a
I-
food
both.
option?
I'm okay
After the
judging
fun
it.
run?
So
Well, we have so many bakers now.
Yeah.
You know, baking
We do.
companies. It's phenomenal.
Well, you could have a commercial competition as well, like a.
I agree.
Yeah, well, you can do commercial, and then you can do maybe you can even do it for the kids. Like a kid,
Yeah.
like a kid ribbon.
Yeah.
I don't want to judge the kid one.
You don't?
That is not
you
very
won't-
community
you
of
won't
you.
Be the judge for
Yeah.
the kids.
Well, he doesn't have to.
They're just gonna put mud in it and a little grass.
Problem
It'll
is-
look really
Problem is,
adorable
when you're a
there.
food judge, you got to eat all of them, not just some of them.
Have you seen Chef Ramsay's entire line of shows, and he's got the kids? Oh my gosh.
Some of those are, I mean, they're
Holy
like,
cow.
You tell me how many of those are in Pflugerville, dude. They won't.
This is comparable to when we were growing up and we didn't know what YouTube was and we didn't know what social media was. You take a 3-year-old now and ask them, it's exponential. So yeah, I'd
They know
go
what
for
wheat
kids.
flour is?
I go for a kids cooking
Okay,
contest.
so my kind of thought is maybe I could reach out to the ISD, see what they would be willing to maybe partner on some kind of drawing thing, and then I will reach out to the Austin Public Health to kind of learn what the food regulations would be, because
Yeah.
I don't know if that falls under cottage food vendors since they make it at home.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I don't know if we're paying $280 or $240 for a Austin Public Health permit for them. It kind of weirdly limits some of what you can bring on site, what you can't. Like Shane said, maybe if we do a commercial one, that could be an option, and then they're bringing it from their commercial kitchen. There's a little bit of different regulations.
Talk to Connolly, they've got their culinary arts.
So I could bring some options and see
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of what maybe we could partner with. Cool. Is
So
there
maybe-
one y'all are leaning towards, or if we want to do art, did we want to do like something,
Well, you could do art.
a theme?
One
Did you
day
want
and
to do?
the
Yeah, I mean
contest
there
on
is
another
3
day.
days.
Yeah.
We've got options.
Yeah.
Bull judging the last day. Let's get some animals
And I
out
mean,
there.
like the art stuff,
Yeah.
I'm for
There's a
it.
sheep competition.
Yeah.
like with the art stuff, potentially like you could hang some of it in like the library or something as like, so people see it and they're like, oh, Deutschen Pfest.
I might see what the library offers because they work with a lot of. They have a bunch of different programs and groups.
Yeah.
They might even know.
So you could partner with maybe a local arts nonprofit.
Yes, I could. You were correct.
Wink, wink.
Just saying,
Yeah.
because I've got an art show going in January, and the library is hard to get into. That's one of our biggest complaints, is that we don't have many venues for art to hang. But yeah, to put out an adult.
I will hang
art-
it in my office.
Are y'all 8.5 by 11 experts? Is that what you're gonna do?
Is that what you want?
No, we were just talking about coloring sheets earlier.
Well, I would see it'd be like a pie contest. You know, we're gonna have different tiers.
There you go. Yeah.
Dairy Queen, you could turn it in. You got free ice cream. Maybe Andy's is the next Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they would want to display your.
Don't we still
Does
have a
Andy's
dairy?
have
Rolly
indoor
rolls?
seating?
We did, but I think they got bought out. So
Andy's
they
got
used
bought
to
out?
hang it in Dairy Queen. You could find your art in there. It was super cute.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
That was, gosh, makes me old.
So the
Cool.
art competition for the kids' art is a fairly easy thing to run. For the adults, it's a little bit more, it's a little more complicated with the judging and this, that, and the other.
I think a
where you're
stein
gonna-
would be so cool.
Yeah, a sign.
A
Stein.
stein.
A stein.
For the
Stein.
adults, like you could design your own beer stein. That sounds like maybe not a dream for all, but a dream for some. I drink out of it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so if you had a vendor who could draw on site and could create on site, maybe not a stein per se, because that includes, pottery, but t-shirting, anything like that. I'm just thinking that through. Okay.
Cool. Well, I will bring y'all back some
I mean,
ideas.
They could
anytime
pay
you
to
bring the
enter.
kids in, the
Steps.
adults
Pay
are
to
gonna
enter,
follow.
and the cost is just the stein, and they
Yeah.
submit the glass stein, and we put them all up, and
And then
people can
Bedazzle
put
the
a
stein.
ticket in it or
And
something.
you
Could
have
be
a
a next
shooting
year thing
gallery,
where
have
the
a shooting
winner
gallery.
gets theirs.
Their thing
Their
on the
cup
next
sold
year.
next year.
We
and
ribbon
then
shoot
you
it.
can
Sorry.
present the
That's
following, and then it
75.
starts a tradition.
Yeah.
You want kind of.
Cool. Well, I'm excited.
Your
We'll
program.
bring y'all some fun ideas.
yeah.
Awesome. Any more ideas about a Blue Ribbon County Fair competition?
No, my husband just really.
He just wants to win. It sounds like we're rigging this for him.
He wants to see that blue ribbon. It's
Yeah.
like, it's because of me.
I'll get him one.
No, make him earn it.
I like it. Cool. Anything else?
Well, just trying to decide what's most important to the person winning, because like you said,
Yeah.
as a child, getting your art up in Dairy Queen is phenomenal.
Right.
For some of our adults who are displaying in New York museums, are like, maybe,
Fair.
maybe not.
Right.
But to
You
your
know that many
point,
artists?
doing it something more that has a permanent fixture that somebody's going to put up in their house and carry around for 10 years or whatever,
Yeah.
that might be something more.
Yeah, and if we're doing it by levels, like I know someone like my husband, he is perfectly happy with just being able to say that he had the best pie or whatever.
Yeah.
Better start working on that recipe now.
Fill in the blank, best, whatever, yeah.
Or best cookie. He's been working on a cookie.
We just call it baked goods.
Yeah.
Best baked goods.
Yeah.
Then it falls under cottage.
You know,
There
if
you
you
go.
found a nonprofit, because sometimes you make a pie, but you make two, right? And then they auction off the other pie, this was our winning pie, this was our winning cake, and that's the fundraiser for the 4-H club or the local group or whatever at a fair. I don't know if,
Like a cake walk.
Yeah, so to speak to your point too, so the pie eating thing, if you can also bring in, the proceeds for the pie eating, whatever, go to fund this, and the proceeds to the art competition go to fund the art nonprofit.
and if the pie has
You got
been,
my card, Kelly, you know where I'm going with it.
if the pie has been made but not distributed to the public,
Then it falls.
then you don't have to worry about the permitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, whoever's buying it is buying it, but
They
it's
own
not
the
being
pie.
distributed to everyone, so I don't have to worry about if it
Yeah, I
was
was
put
gonna say,
outside.
I wanna-
Public
issues.
consumption.
Yeah, if it changed, if it was just being judged.
And that makes it even more valuable to whoever's bidding on it,
Yeah,
Right.
because it got first place, but I can't try it. I have to buy it
Right.
to know if it's really
Yeah.
that good or whatever. So then people bid on it, and then that goes back to benefiting Circle for Hope. Maybe that's the way they're in, or, there's a,
yeah.
Well, this pie eating contest just took on a life of its own.
well, for a food pantry, that's a pretty cool
No, I think so.
Yeah.
too.
fundraiser,
I
it's-
agree.
No, I mean, like, it would
The
be
food
cool,
portion.
like, if eventually we had, like, pie and cookies
Yeah.
and just, like, a whole bunch of.
There's a way for that to
stuff.
grow, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about, is the pretzel eating contest we do now, like how could we grow that? And then we did the Stein last year, we added 2 of those, so all the competitions are growing.
yeah.
Cool.
Anything else on this one?
I think we're good.
Nice.
All right, so 4F, discussion regarding proposal of a Deutschen Fest day to PFISD.
I hate to ruin Lowell's life. They changed the day, so now they are no longer out on that Friday. His whole idea was if they were out that Friday to maybe partner with the ISD and we use it as sort of like, come to Deutschen Fest since y'all are out of school. I checked the calendar and they are out the Monday prior, October 9th, but they are not out the Friday of Deutschen Fest.
I think to this point, and something we could probably do
Yeah.
is just say, it sounds like you take off a day in October for in-service or teacher
It's like, yeah,
training
Monday.
or something. Could it just be this day?
Yeah,
Moving forward, could it always be the Friday of Deutschen Fest? Which is the third Friday of every
Do that much forward to that?
October or whatever. No, but if the mayor someone requested it, it might have some pull.
Not
Yeah.
wrong.
So they're, the 9th, which is Columbus Day, so they're closed anyway.
That is what they're closed for
Got
this
it.
year, yeah.
So they can't have 2 days in the same month, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe 2024, it's a Friday thing.
To request to move it from that Monday to Friday.
Yeah. Because one year recently we put it on, they
So
were
bring it
off.
up to this PES.
yeah, last year they were off.
Subcommittee.
So
Yeah,
It changes, I
it's
think.
possible.
yeah,
You know, it's a grade ending, like, day for
Yeah.
them. Anything else on that?
I think we are good. All right, so 5, discuss and consider. 5A, discuss and consider action on future meeting schedule.
How do we feel about this Monday? Do we like Mondays? No, I think I'll do the poll with a bunch of days to choose, so I just wanted to bring it back up.
Yeah,
Does Monday work with y'all?
Mondays.
Monday's work.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
I think other things to put on there, and we're not really supposed to talk about the thing, but we can just say that it's gonna come up next time. It's probably time to start putting the, y'all's updates now as committee members. Had a month now to start knowing potentially what you're even talking about, and committee reports might be light still, but you can say this is what we're working on, or we're Gates and we're not worried about it yet, whatever it is, Also, something that we can talk more next time, because I can't field any questions, but I can give you a little update. This event, Miss Caitlin,
We still have a whole other item.
what's the next item?
Discuss and consider future agenda items.
That's what, because
Do you
I
wanna-
can't
okay.
talk about it the next one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I can't talk about the next one, which is what I'm talking about right now. Caitlin, this event and Slice of Pflugerville plus large city permits, so like Pride Festival and Juneteenth like that, are all falling under city manager's office starting May 1st. So these events are citywide events. They're tourism, at times tourism-centric events, and me telling the police chief or planning director that I need 4 of his staff or whatever, for a citywide event, I don't know, is a little
You're not gonna have that
wonky.
pool
Is the
anymore.
right- No, I have no pool. But they realized pretty quickly, like, what are we letting this guy boss people around for? But I think it's great, because that's not the only things Caitlin's doing. She's going over there and helping them, city manager's office develop business relationships in downtown and volunteer and some other events that's our city manager initiatives, like the walk with the council member event that was just posted, I think today or yesterday, on the Facebook page. And so we're excited for Caitlin and to see what she gets to do with the city manager's office and the full support of that group.
Okay, I missed something. So I thought you were saying all those events are now going under city managers. Are
They
you
are.
saying
She
she's going
as
under?
well.
I'm going, yeah.
Because I'm
She
going.
and those
I'm
events.
Pound panic mode. Okay.
No, no.
She and those,
not a
yeah,
problem.
she and those events are going under city manager's office.
Ooh, baby
Did
girl,
I not
that's
say
so much
that? I
better.
thought I said that.
I don't know.
You had candy in your mouth or something. It just kind of.
Yeah, I mumble already. Enunciation is hard
That's
for me.
very cool.
So if there's more questions about it, we can definitely talk about it next time, but just an update.
Nice.
So we're getting through Slice of Pflugerville, which is this weekend. Hopefully we see y'all out at that event.
Yeah.
And
Y'all better come.
I
Y'all have to come.
Gabby's
have
been working
ordered my
hard.
shirt.
Y'all better come.
May 1st starts her new journey with the city, so we're excited about that.
Time.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I don't
Congratulations.
honestly
Like
have any clue.
tourism, nature.
Miss-
Let's make it up
Miss-
right
Couple
here.
weeks.
I
How she
we're
feels
still
about it.
Know
brainstorming
it all
it.
and
Sure.
do it all.
Yeah.
Tourism and events manager. I don't know. We're
Yeah,
gonna
I think
make
it'll
it
be
up on the fly.
community outreach and
Coordinator or
tourism
something.
manager. Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, some long acronym.
it's a long one. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Slice of Pflugerville. I'm struggling.
Also, that is rude. Don't tell me that. Just don't show up. Just,
Yeah.
just don't
Say
tell
you're
me.
gonna be
There's a
there,
lot
just
of
don't
people
show up.
there. I
Yeah,
could,
tell us you're gonna be there.
yeah,
We won't
you
know.
didn't see
Yeah.
me. I
I'll
waved
see
at
y'all
you.
there. Ghost.
Yeah, I would have no clue.
Cool. Okay.
But
that's
just an
cool.
update.
That's very
Yep.
cool.
We're all excited about it.
Shane will still be
Yep.
a partner in
I will
crime.
still be here. Yeah. Caitlin,
Huge
obviously, yeah, Caitlin needs staff and event spaces, and we need Caitlin to put on events. So we're all still working together. We just, she's going to report to the city manager's office, and
And
we'll
all
have
these tablecloths.
other things as assigned, I'm sure, over there.
I can hardly wait. Awesome.
Until now, it's what do they have for next meeting, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm really glad I've been nice to you all these years.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
On tape?
Not me, though.
No, there's no point there.
And you can,
All right.
He's lost
you
all
can
of your.
continue to abuse
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's lost all his status, so.
You saw where I ranked it, this power ranking.
All right. 5B, discuss and consider action to place
wait.
items on the future Deutschen Fest
Okay,
committee
never
meeting
mind. Yep,
agenda.
yeah. I thought you were passing by now.
So what I'm gonna bring next to y'all, just so y'all are aware, I'm gonna bring y'all budget and how we're breaking down. I'm gonna start setting one-on-one committee meetings. So Gates will meet, entertainment will meet, kids and fun run will meet. That way we can kind of fill you in on what we did last year. We can kind of start to brainstorm, and then you now have tasks you can start working on. And when you come to bring those updates, you'll have updates, which is very exciting. We'll bring you. We'll bring you. Oh gosh, we're gonna bring you spinning trail, road closure options, blue ribbon contest options. What would y'all like to talk about next?
I would like to talk about creating a really nice green room for the main stage.
Green room.
And I've got some specifics that we need to include in that green room. We've had it before.
Okay.
I'll talk to Laura Luther again. I don't think they're gonna be pulling in Elevate Event, but if they do, that would be nice, because I like that. Did you like that? last time?
That was very nice.
And then I need to know clear direction about using the small gazebo for individual acts, because that kind of went bonkers.
Instead of the pavilion, or you want to move that back, or you want to talk about using
No,
both?
smaller gazebo for individual acts.
Okay.
The pavilion with one person, that pavilion is so huge and you've got one person standing out
And then
there. It
pavilion
just
for
looks-
groups.
Yeah,
Okay.
pavilion does not get enough traffic.
We want to talk about food vendors over there. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. You tell me what you want to talk about. Do you want to talk about gates and fencing? Okay. Do you want to talk about admission prices?
Yeah, we should probably do it.
Yeah.
Probably should if we're gonna
Yep.
do it in the council.
Last year, we talked about the benefit of having music in the pavilion was that people that could just not afford to get inside Deutschen Pfest, they could at least go there, sit at a picnic table, enjoy music. I don't know that that's necessarily marketed
Did you not eat dinner?
as such. Do what?
Pre-dinner.
I said, did he not eat dinner? These way
Oh
he's
my gosh.
eating these mints.
Pre-dinner.
Sugar. But somehow, I know it's hard for the city to advertise, you could get in free over here and listen to music. I don't know how to do that, but just as a benefit to the community, that there is a side that you can listen to music and you don't have to pay for. I don't know.
I could see if our communications team too would kind of be willing to come and chat about how
How
they
to
would
best-
like to
how
market this
best word
event.
that, yeah.
Call it the community stage.
The community stage.
We shouldn't be talking about it. We should talk about it next time.
You're
but yeah.
right, you're right.
Okay, so we
But
could talk to them
that's
about
actually-
some of the ways they do promote this event, and then some of the ways y'all would like to see them promote. Okay?
Yeah, because I'm looking at
They've
putting
gotten some new staff as well.
Because that, I don't know if we can talk about it yet or not. So just,
You can bring it up, talk about it next time.
so maybe for next time, put the, what word am I looking for? Not the direction, the focus of the pavilion stage. What Melissa's ideas are for that particular stage.
Okay.
Not so much for next time, but while we're talking about new staff. Jonathan, he was here last meeting, rec superintendent Bays. He got to supervise Caitlin for a week and a half.
That's right.
He's our new
Tough
business
job.
ops supervisor.
And he's still here.
And then, honestly, y'all, I believe y'all know Gabby and Junior as well.
Cool. And
Oh,
Beast has a
Nathan.
lot of athletic
He's supposed to be
experience.
behind the, he's the guy behind the camera.
But he's looking right at you. So waiting.
I'm one of the new communications people too.
That's right.
So,
Okay.
All those new
You're
staff.
not supposed to act like you see the camera.
Yeah. Don't break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
The fourth wall.
You learned that from the office.
Cool. And I might bring, I'll probably bring Bays and Amy when I meet with you, and Raul, just because he has great athletic experience in putting on events or athletic events. So I think that could kind of be a cool thing to discuss.
Did you go ahead and set a date for the next meeting?
So
Did we do
if
that?
we're gonna keep with the same date, it'll be the fourth Monday
Okay.
of the month. Let me tell you what that
Is
is.
that Memorial Day?
22nd.
The 29th. Oh, son of a gun. That is
Wait.
Memorial Day.
1, 2, 3. No, the 4th is the 22nd.
Oh, you're right. I can't count.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Just
Yeah, 'cause
committed
I-
surprise.
22nd. See you all
Oh, yeah,
then.
because I'm getting a tooth pulled that day. Yay.
Oh, so you
Don't
won't be
bring
able
your,
to talk?
don't bring your candy. Keep your candy at home that day.
I'm gonna bring your tooth.
Awesome. Anything else you would like to see on the future agenda?
Are we sticking with 6:30?
6:30? Is that the time? Okay,
For
we'll
me.
stick with it. 6:30.
And it's here, not on Teams.
It is
right?
here. I'm so sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Apologies
My
to
bad,
everyone.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No
Maybe
worries.
some, I don't know how to do this, maybe a follow-up email. How did we get the other email that was going to put us in a Zoom meeting? That's how.
That
That
a
was the
calendar
one
invite.
with, yeah, it was the calendar invite.
So you'll get
Which-
both. You'll get a calendar.
You'll get that
invite.
We'll
without a
make it
Zoom
where
link.
it's not a Zoom meeting.
And we'll
next
just
time.
go ahead and send that out for all of the months.
Yeah,
coming up. That way
like a
it's already on
reoccurring
the
event for
calendar.
y'all.
Sure.
Woo!
Caitlin, on the discussion for the gates.
Yes.
Can we make sure that we speak specifically if we're gonna have the children's petting zoo again,
Mm-hmm.
to make that access and that cul-de-sac a little easier to open? Because I remember last year I had to go over there with some
Fencing,
pliers
yes.
and
Oh, really?
yeah, I had to pry it open just because they had to bring the trailer in. So
Yeah, they couldn't get in
if we
through.
can make it a little bit easier access
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
yeah.
Maybe we can talk about moving them to a different area. I don't know. I think it kind of worked well over there.
It
with
was
the
nice there
shade.
because of the canopy with the
Okay.
shade and everything.
Maybe we keep it. We'll talk. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
talk fencing.
we'll figure it out.
Cool.
Yep.
It would be nice too to have a Spanish-speaking person at either gate.
At each gate.
Yeah, because there were some people that came up with questions and I just.
I'll quiz them. They have to pass my test.
Okay.
That's right. I'll be the
And-
first
and
level
what's your
boss.
cell- and what's your cell
Like,
phone
I don't know what they said.
You're just point.
Yeah. Just see
Cool.
one.
Alrighty, well, Amy, all you.
All right. So, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.